Over the years, through experience, upskill, reflection, and with inspiration from others, I've shaped a leadership model that guides how I lead, how I create clarity, how I develop and motivate people, and how I make sure we deliver results. Because to me, leadership isn't just about making decisions or driving results, even though being very important characteristics for a manager. It's about building something strong, meaningful, and long-lasting. I call it my leadership temple, a structure connecting the dots from the why, what, where, when, how, and who, with major focus on the culture and mindset. Where people understand their roles, direction, and contribution, feels motivated, assume accountability, and drives improvements without a manager initiating all the changes. My name is Per Adolfsson, and I've held key leadership positions in both customer-facing and R&D domains as project and program manager and as line manager in several different areas. I am PMP, Project Management Professional, and ITILV for Certified, and among other, studied organizational theory at Stanford University. In this video, I'll take you through the pillars, the foundation, and all building blocks of my leadership temple. Each part represents an aspect of my holistic leadership approach that I hold close, creating clarity by clear and structured communication while connecting the dots to strategic initiatives, allowing people to take own initiatives and grow as everyone will understand their objectives, priorities, and contributions to the vision within the end-to-end business environment. This is more than a model. It's a reflection of who I strive to be as a leader, and how I hope to inspire others to behave in their own authentic way. So, let's step inside and take a closer look at my leadership temple. At the center of my leadership temple stand three key pillars. Those are the 3 Ps: products, people, and practices. These aren't just categories. They're interconnected forces that shape how I lead and deliver value. Let me explain what each one means to me. First, products. What the team or organization delivers, e.g. products, tools and/or services, and related to the objectives in the organization. As a leader, I provide clarity, prioritization, and alignment around the why behind what we're supplying. Second, people. For me, leadership is first and foremost about people. I lead with empathy, transparency, and trust. As many leaders before me have stated, people are the biggest asset of a company, and I can only agree. I invest in building relationships, not just focusing on the job person, but the individual. I try to create environments where people feel safe to speak up, assume accountability, and where people are encouraged to take their own initiatives and grow. And third, practices. Practices are how we do what we do. Our processes, our ways of working, our mindset. I focus on clarifying and documenting our processes and making sure they are fully understood and followed. Whether it's decision-making frameworks, ways of working, or how we handle feedback. I believe in continuously improving how we work, not just what we work on. These 3 pillars, products, people, and practices, support everything I do as a leader and are therefore a centerpiece of my leadership temple. To me, a mission is more than a statement on a slide or a poster on a wall. It's the shared purpose that gives direction and meaning to everything we do. It answers the simple but powerful question, why are we doing what we are doing? As a leader, I've learned that when people truly understand the mission, at the company level, at the organizational level, and within their team, they take better decisions, stay more focused on the main objectives, and feel more connected and prouder, delivering not just an output but an outcome. I make it a habit to continuously communicate and reinforce the mission. I connect our day-to-day work back to that larger purpose. I remind the team how their efforts matter. Because when people feel part of something bigger, they practice a better mindset, they care more, challenge more, and contribute more. As the mission relates to the why we are doing what we are doing, mission sits far to the left, symbolizing here and now in my leadership temple. I see vision as the wanted position in the future. The vision statement should outline the desired future state of the company, the organization, or even the team. It should inspire and provide a clear direction where people feel engaged and empowered to contribute. It's about direction, possibility, and belief. As a leader, I take responsibility for not only shaping a clear and compelling vision for the team, but also for keeping it visible, while connecting it to overall organizational or company visions. I've learned that when teams can see the destination, they move with more confidence. They're more willing to take smart risks. They're more resilient and perseverant when challenges show up. A powerful vision energizes people. It paints a picture they want to be part of. And when that vision is co-created, not just top-down, it becomes something people feel ownership of. In my leadership temple, vision sits far to the right, lighting the way forward for everything we deliver and strive for. With a clear vision in place, the next building block in my leadership temple is strategy, i.e. the path we choose from our mission to turn our vision into reality. For me, strategy isn't something we define once and forget. It's alive. It evolves. Independently if we work using a 3-6-9 or OKRs, objective and key results or any other model, we need to take it step by step and be agile to adapt to changes around us, taking us closer towards our vision based on our strategic initiatives. As a leader, I work across both strategic and tactical layers. At the tactical level, I stay close to execution, making sure that our daily work reflects our main objectives and deliverables, and that our teams are set up to succeed. At the strategic level, I help shape direction, aligning priorities, connecting the dots, and painting the overall picture. I make sure the team understands why we're doing what we're doing, so they can own the strategy too, not just follow it. In my leadership temple, strategy sits between the mission and the vision and supports both the dream and the doing. It's where vision becomes action. One part of leadership I feel strongly about, it's this: culture. In my leadership temple, culture is the foundation of the temple. It's the living, breathing spirit of how we work, how we treat each other, how we act in different situations and how we make decisions. It must slightly differ from team to team depending on the context and organizational objectives and needs. For me, culture is made up of 3 deeply connected elements: behaviors, values, and principles. Behaviors are what people see, the way I show up, how I lead under pressure, how I handle feedback, how I give it. It's about walk the talk, always being a role model. I believe consistency in behavior, especially when no one's watching, builds trust. That's where culture begins. Values are the beliefs I stand for. I lead with values like professionalism, respect, and can-do attitude, not because they sound good, but because they guide how I navigate uncertainty and personal interactions. And principles, these are the operating guidelines I carry with me. Principles like assume good intent but hold high standards or progress over perfection keep me grounded and aligned with what matters most. I've learned that culture doesn't happen by accident. It's something I nurture, model, and protect every single day. I call things out when they drift. I celebrate when we get it right. And I hold myself accountable first. Culture is what makes leadership real. Without it, mission and strategy are just words. With a strong culture, grounded in behaviors, values, and principles, everything else becomes more powerful, helping us achieve our goals. Next building block in my leadership temple is leadership and management. There's an important distinction I always keep in mind, the difference between leadership and management. For me, leadership is about vision, direction, and inspiration. It's about setting the tone, shaping the culture, and helping people see what's possible and want to deliver. When I lead, I focus on why we do what we do, I create meaning, build trust, and try to be the person others want to follow, not just listen to. Management, on the other hand, is about structure, clarity, and getting things done. It's about making sure we have the right plans, the right people in the right roles, and the right systems in place to deliver. When I manage, I focus on results. I make sure progress is happening, blockers are being cleared, and people have what they need to succeed. I've seen great leaders fail without solid management. And I've seen great managers struggle without the ability to inspire and create high-performing individuals or teams. So I don't choose between them, I try to embrace both. That's how I build trust. That's how I scale impact. And that's how I continue to grow, as both a leader and as a manager. Everything I've talked about so far, the 3 Ps, mission, vision, strategy, culture, and leadership and management, ultimately comes down to who we serve. In my leadership temple, I never lose sight of 3 critical groups: customers, stakeholders, and shareholders, hence putting those on top as a guiding star or someone overlooking the whole business. Let's start with the customer. Independently if you have internal or external customers, I believe they are our reason for existing. Their needs, their experience, their outcomes, that's where it all starts. I put the customer at the center of how I lead, and I make sure our teams stay close to them, through requirements, feedback, data, and collaboration. If we're not delivering value to our customers, then everything else eventually breaks down. Then comes the stakeholders, colleagues, partners, and teams across the organization. I see it as my job to align with them, communicate transparently, and build strong, trusting relationships. Good stakeholder management isn't just about updates, it's about shared goals, active listening, and making sure we're solving the right problems together. And finally, the shareholders. Shareholders, you might ask, why do you included them in your leadership temple as you do not personally interact with them? No, that is correct, but I understand that financial performance, sustainable growth, and long-term value creation matter for them. Hence, it starts with me and how I lead and manage my teams and my responsibilities. These 3 groups, customers, stakeholders, and shareholders, form the broader system my leadership operates within. As I am now completing the building blocks of my leadership temple, we reach a part that often sits quietly in the background, but makes all the difference, hence, positioned in the center as yet a foundation. Operational efficiency. For me, this is where everything connects. It's where culture meets execution, where strategy becomes results, and where leadership gets tested, not in theory, but in real-world delivery. Operational efficiency is about making sure that what we do well. That our resources are used wisely, that our teams are focused on the right things, and that we're not just busy, we're effective delivering outcome and not just output. Let me give you a few examples of how I connect the dots. Product, people and practices are tightly connected and interdependent on each other. Without one, other will fail. Hence, when performing e.g. retrospectives or after-action reviews, it's important that we not only address the product, but also the people and practices dimensions to obtain a holistic view and improvements in all applicable areas. Otherwise, we risk having faults built into the practices or frustrations among the team members that might lead to conflicts unless systematically dealt with. When our mission is clear and well understood and constantly repeated, it helps everyone prioritize our true objectives. We stop doing things that don't serve the purpose to increase focus and reduce waste. To understand our role in the bigger picture and enable great collaboration, I connect our objectives to those around us, i.e. those who deliver to us and/or those we deliver to, providing all with improved understanding of those around us and why they sometimes behave as they do. In the end of the day, we all contribute to the greater good of the company. Our vision sets long-term goals, but efficiency is what ensures we're taking steady, meaningful steps toward that vision, while I also upskill and reskill employees for future demand, staying attractive for the company based on a concept I invented, i.e. individual learning flowers, considering both organizational needs and personal ambitions. Our strategy becomes executable when paired with the right rhythms, metrics, and ownership models. I make sure strategy isn't just on slides, it's built into how we work, from our practices to individual performance and development goals. Culture plays a huge role here. A culture of accountability, continuous improvement, and openness to feedback drives smarter, faster decision-making, contributing to strategy execution. When driving change, I make sure everyone fully understands the purpose of the change. Using words that are appealing to the audience and create not only a sense of urgency but also, if possible, answers the question, what's in it for me? Changes take time, often more time than initially anticipated, hence you need to be perseverant and repeat the main messages about the change. Equally important is regular progress updates during the process, and sometimes there is no new information available is better than being quiet. A successful change must consider the 3 Ps, and I put a lot of emphasis on the individuals. What new tools and behaviors would they need for the change to be successful? It is only through having engaged and dedicated people we obtain true and long-lasting change and reach the potential we aimed for. When we operate efficiently, we serve customers better, respond to stakeholders faster, and deliver stronger returns to shareholders, all without compromising on quality or values. I see operational efficiency as a leadership discipline. It's about holistic leadership, connecting the dots, being emphatic and transparent, building trust and make people believe in themselves. It's about reducing waste, amplifying value, and strategy execution. It's how we balance time between delivering results here and now and how we free up time for creativity, learning, and growth for the future. In my leadership temple, operational efficiency is the heart, the circulatory system that makes everything working and aligned. Now that I've walked through all building blocks of my leadership temple, there's one final piece I want to share. It's not a building block. It's an arrow, the directional force that connects today to tomorrow. It's what turns mission into vision. What transforms intent into progress. The mission is what anchors us. It gives meaning to the work we do today. The vision is what inspires us, pulling us toward the future we want to create. Everything in this temple helps me lead along that arrow with purpose and momentum. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow, but always forward. And that's my leadership temple. Connect the dots. Lead with clarity. And always keep moving together. From mission toward vision. From today toward tomorrow. As we now step out of my leadership temple, I hope you've gained a clear picture of how all the building blocks come together, from the foundation to the pillars, from mission to vision, and the importance of a holistic leadership approach. We've connected the dots from the why, what, where, when, how, and who, not as theoretical questions, but as tangible elements that foster a culture of empowerment, alignment, and inspiration. A place where people understand their roles, have clear direction, and take own initiatives to grow and driving change. Thank you for watching. I hope this inspires you to shape your own leadership, in your own authentic way. Feel free to leave any comments or reflections, and remember to use a professional and respectful tone.